Hello, my name is Cal Jenkins. This video is for EDU-330 and it is on the personal virtues and characteristics that are necessary for an educator. The Canyon Center for Character breaks up these virtues into 4 categories: intellectual, moral, civil, and performance. When it comes to the intellectual virtues, the virtue that stuck out most to me as applicable in my life was discernment. Discernment can allow a teacher to recognize emotional and academic needs of individual students. You will not always know that a child in your class has intellectual or emotional disabilities or that intervention is necessary, but it is often because of the discernment of that teacher and them recognizing the signs that that child is ultimately able to get help. I do feel that that is a strength that I can bring to the classroom. Morally, I'm a very compassionate person. I care about people, I especially care about children, and I care about them feeling value, feeling safe, and ultimately getting the best education that they can. So what compassion can do to further this is it can foster an environment where the children can learn without fear and they can know that mistakes are okay. This is mentioned in our text, becoming a multicultural educator. It's mentioned as an essential aspect to effective teaching. Essentially, children must feel comfortable and safe in order to be in the right state of mind for learning and focusing at its best. Civilly is mentioned, citizenship, civility. I do feel that this is something that I would definitely bring to the classroom, and it's something that I display in my own life. Every student must be treated the same, no favoritism for any reason at all, and there needs to be compassion for all students equally. This also means allowing diverse perspectives and allowing the children to feel comfortable to give input about those perspectives, to allow the children to learn from one another and learn from each other's differences and similarities. Lastly, in the performance category, I would say confidence. I am a confident person, but I'm also a kind person. Confidence is important because once the trust has been gained by the students, at that point, they are going to need structure and they are going to need a clear direction. If the teacher is slacking off, obviously the students are going to be slacking off. So that confidence, that willingness to put your foot down when necessary while still being kind is absolutely essential because children respond very well to structure. The 2 virtues that I would say are most important to the field of teaching would be compassion and confidence. I would say that these 2 work together very well. It is a tandem somewhat of good cop and bad cop in a sense. No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So that compassion comes in and it creates that initial bond between teacher and student. It is what makes the student feel at ease and feel comfortable, that lets them get their guards down, gives the teacher that trust, and then ultimately that confidence of that teacher to be able to make a difference in that student's life is able to come in and do so through structure and through teaching. It is very important that, again, the confidence, the structure, and the compassion are all given to all students at the same level, no difference from one kid to the other for any particular reason. When discussing character formation and what that means to me, I'll quote Leo Bartemeyer, who defined it as the process of developing a person's values, beliefs, and behaviors through interactions with their environment and their biological predispositions. What I hear in this is that we respond to things and situations based on nature and nurture alike. what we have been through defines our character for better or for worse. We can learn from the bad or we can learn from the good, but we can also not learn from the bad and not learn from the good. Ultimately, it's our choice, and it's a personal decision about growing and developing character, while recognizing that obviously the things that we've been through are going to shape how we feel about things in our life, as well as our biological predispositions. But ultimately, I do believe that there's a lot of choice involved in that, and it comes from a pursuit of a willingness to improve. Fostering character formation. A couple ways that I would intend to do this in the classroom. Firstly, I would reward virtuous behavior such as respect, kindness, and responsibility. To incentivize doing these things is going to make it muscle memory for the kids, and it's only going to help them in life, and it's only going to result in them having good and healthy interactions throughout their life and also achieving more. Lastly, a couple of ways that I could further my own character development as a teacher, and I intend to. One thing that I've discovered is the USD Character Education Certificate Program. And you are allowed to go through there and actually receive training and certification about how to develop these specific characteristics that you need to be a teacher. There's other subscriptions that you can do. There's always learning workshops. You can look them up, and there's always training that you can do that just will sharpen your sword as an educator and make you better used by your students and be able to have a greater impact for good. Another example would be CPB. They're responsible for PBS, but they don't just do programming for children. They also do programming for adults who are specifically educators. And it's an excellent resource for developing your characteristics and furthering your ability to impact children in a positive way. Thank you for your time.